Hi guys, welcome to Talkin Thursday. This is Jim. I'm Jane. And today my mind is on balance. What is balance? So of course, you know, Jim, quit laughing, I can see you.
What came to mind automatically was unbalanced.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No,
I'm sorry.
no doubt.
I interrupted. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. You know, a lot of times when we think about balance, we think about a scale and we think about equal. That's not really the balance that I'm kind of referring to. So let me see if I can try and explain what it is my mind is actually thinking about. So for me, I think it seems logical and realistic that there is a whole gamut of things that create a balance in our lives. Isn't there a poem by, I think, Helen Steiner Rice that talks about there's a time for everything? There's a time to mourn, there's a time to be happy. There's a time for everything. And I guess in my head, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And I'm trying to figure out, where is balance? And is there a formula that we can actually use to create balance in our life? Do you think you've found that? Do you think you have found balance? Would you say your life is in balance, or do you think our lives are in a continual state of searching for balance?
Not a chance. My life is not in anywhere close to being in balance. And to be honest, I'm not searching for it.
Why?
Because I'm really quite comfortable in what I'm doing and how I live my life these days.
So then isn't that balance for you?
No. Not for me. I don't struggle for balance. When I'm tired of doing something, I do something else. And so
But isn't that your balance?
No, that's me surviving. That's me getting things done. That's me.
But that's balance. That's what I'm trying to say, isn't it?
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Your balance.
That's my way of getting through. That's my way of contributing to the quality of my life.
All work and no play makes Jim a dull boy.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I definitely take my time out to play. I understand what you're saying about the balance piece, and it's a sense of balance is certainly important. All, like you say, all work and no play, or all play and no work. I mean, there has to be some middle ground somewhere where you can say, I got that done, I didn't get that done, but I can get at that tomorrow. There has to be, or, you know, gee, I haven't been out for a while with the, you know, creating havoc on society, and I miss that, so maybe tomorrow that's what I'll do. There needs to be a sense that I'm enjoying all aspects of my life. Now, if you want to call that balance, I could agree with that.
Yes. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about balance in many ways. And I do understand what you're saying as far as survival. There are things that we do in our life that I'm sure many of us wouldn't choose to do if we had the choice, i.e. Working or shoveling snow, mowing lawns. Maybe some people would not like to do that. Washing your car, what have you. Pay bills. There's lots of things that we do to survive and be responsible in the lives that we have. I've heard a lot of comments lately about self-care, and I think we've talked about this before, Jim. What is self-care, and I guess I kind of would equate somewhat that with balance. I think we all have some sort of a notion or an idea about what we would like our lives to be, or what we would like our lives to look like, or what we think would make us happy. But I think that the truth of the matter is that all emotions are what make up our lives. Nobody is ever happy 100% of the time. Nobody is ever sad 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. I think life just happens and you respond or react to it.
In some cases, for sure. But there are those times when you make things happen.
Correct.
Because they need to be made to happen.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was kind of thinking ultimately we have a choice.
Always.
And
well,
that,
not always, but most of the time, you're right, yeah.
even when we appear not to have a choice, I think we actually do sometimes. Because we could
Well, I can choose
we
to
could
do
have
it
a
or
different
not.
we could have a different reaction or response to what is happening. And that's a choice that we can make.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes what I struggle with personally in finding balance, I overthink, and that gets me into trouble.
It seems to.
It creates a lack of balance in my life.
That's one way of saying it. Yeah. I think around the balance thing, I think if I have to spend a time thinking about am I in or out of balance, or is there something, then I'm missing the point. To me, I would rather. To me, I tend to look at it a little differently, obviously, in that if I have to justify what it is I'm doing, then there's a problem with that.
I think sometimes the thought process that makes you make the decision to get on your motorcycle and go for a ride, that the thought process is actually what is creating balance in your life. Because you are aware that, well, I don't need to feel guilty. It's just that I haven't done this in a while and I'd like to do this and I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. That's right.
I think that where some of us get into trouble is when we get stuck with the thought
We get stuck with the guilt.
and expect that it's going to. We get stuck with the thought and the expectation that we have or that we perceive others will have, and don't take the action.
For me, you got to be all into what it is you want to do, and it's not.
And a lot of times, that's affected by too much thought.
Absolutely, just do it.
Because
That's balance to me.
Yeah, we often hear, go with your gut. Go with your gut instinct. Your gut instinct is instantaneous. Balance is in the initial thought.
I learned a very valuable lesson, sort of a life lesson, when I wore another man's kind of clothes, sort of thing. In another lifetime, when I was conducting myself a little differently. But one of the things that I learned was if I have to talk myself into doing something, whatever it is, if I have to talk myself into doing something, it's probably not the right thing for me to be doing. I think a lot of folks that would watch this would say, but it's that, like the scales of justice, and you have to spend as much time in balance doing this as you do over here. Otherwise, it's not balanced. This isn't balance. Yes, it could be.
Yes, it is. That was my point. I wasn't describing it very well, but I love what you just said. That's balance does not mean equal.
No.
At all, and it has no bearing on greater than or less than. Nothing.
It shouldn't.
That's not what I meant at all when I was talking about balance.
Yeah.
I just meant allowing things to occur as they do, accept them, appreciate them, work through them, whatever it is you got to do, just do it and know that this is the way it's supposed to be right now.
And for me, balance equates to freedom. When I feel free to do certain things, I feel that I'm in balance at that point.
I like that. There you have it. Balance. It's not greater than, it's not less than, it's not equal to. Balance is freedom. I like it.
Go get some.
Have a great week.
Thanks for stopping by.